Welcome back to Cryptopia, where we go over the wet and wild happening in NFT land. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way in today. Going over the news. Woo! All right, guys. So, an independent artist just made $20,000 in one day of selling NFTs. How did he accomplish such orgasmic levels of money? Hope my video doesn't get flagged for that. Anyways, NFTs have transformed the indie music industry by allowing new and underground artists to build their own communities. Thanks to these digital tokens, many independent musicians are now in a position where they don't need corporate labels to reach an audience. The latest proof of this is pop artist Thomas Pippola, aka Pip's Cotton Candy Backstage Passes. Is that his full artist name? No, I don't think so. Which made a whopping 20,000 or 6.5 or 8 ETH within 24 hours of their release. The Cotton Candy NFTs were launched on March 21st, 2022 as part of the artist's independent crowdfunding campaign. Singer-songwriter Pip is trying to raise more than 35 ETH, about $100,000, to crowdfund his new venture, basically coming up with his EP NFT drop and a record label that he wants to create. Now, this is actually a rather old article. It came out in March 25th, and all of this kind of went down in March 20-something. I really just wanted to bring it up because, you know, there's so many other ways in the space to make some cash, some money, some doru, some crypto. You know, I think a lot of the times you see it's like the NFT developers are making games, metaverse stuff, and like that's not the only way. There's tons of room for artists, especially I was just in a Twitter space where there were a bunch of photographers talking about their NFTs and the pictures they've taken, and taken some extraordinary and very beautiful moving photos that they then turn into NFTs and have been selling and have actually gathered a little bit of an audience doing that, each independent person. So, you know, I myself learning how to DJ, not at the place where I'm releasing anything yet, but you know, this time next year I'd like to have my own remixes, have my own sets, and I'll probably be putting those on like Audius or something like that. So just food for thought. Moving on, the Wax blockchain has become a hub for Web3 gaming. Here's why. So Wax blockchain apparently is like stupidly popular. I had never even freaking heard of it till this article. But apparently, the worldwide asset exchange, better known as Wax, is undoubtedly one of the most popular blockchains for non-fungible token NFTs. Heralded as one of the most prominent networks for digital collectibles and virtual items, it's a widely used and highly efficient choice for many NFT enthusiasts. And the blockchain has archived this reputation despite flying under the proverbial radar, as landmark sales and virtual collections on Ethereum, Tezos, and Solana continue to trump Wax in the court of public opinion. While art NFTs have been proliferated in mass by Wax's competitors, the blockchain has maintained popularity as a host to digitized versions of legacy collectibles like trading cards, figurines, memorabilia. Because of this, many influential brands, including baseball collectibles, the company called Topps, racing giant NASCAR, toy company Hot Wheels, and more, have found a home on the worldwide asset exchange. So this is crazy. I did not know they were in such high regard in terms of all these popular brands like NASCAR and Hot Wheels, but apparently these guys have been around since 2017, and they also play a host to a ton of NFT games as well. They run off a proof of stake concept, so they're environmentally friendly. Their fees are like stupidly low, and they take all those extra fees and redistribute it back to the Wax community because, of course, they have a Wax token as well. So this was a weird little thing to kind of stumble across. Now, that being said, the token I couldn't find the token anywhere else but like Binance and on Uniswap. It's not on Coinbase or Kraken. Or it's on crypto.com as well. It's in a few different places, but it wasn't in like the top like 3, I guess. Coinbase, Binance it was, and then Kraken it wasn't. Those are, at least those are my top three, I guess. I expect a lot. I found a lot of what I'm looking for on those ones, but of course, you can find it in other places as well. So this is a very popular asset exchange. They do a bunch of stuff. They don't just do gaming, so they do regular NFTs. They do assortments of different digital collectibles. They also have tokens that are also on there as well, because they're also a market for crypto, a regular crypto market. They're also an NFT market. So these guys are pretty huge, despite kind of flying low key for a very long time. And you know, they're slowly getting up there, especially with the certain brands that they have. Obviously, they've been able to make some very significant connections with some higher mainstream brands. So obviously that, you know, that bodes well for the future of what this could become. I think the current price of it, not to show the coin, is currently at like 0.1133. So relatively cheap. Not financial advice. I just found it very curious that, you know, like I'd never really heard of Wax. I may have heard of it like in passing, but I never really, it doesn't come up. And they say it in the article, OpenSea, Solana, you know what I mean, Tezos even. Those are like, those stick out at you. Wax is not a name that you really hear a lot about. And I think that's a lot because like Wax is not, the Wax token isn't really that useful off of the platform, but they've got a lot of stuff on their platform. But it almost kind of reminds me of like almost like a Binance, where they have so much going on and you can use their coin for a lot of stuff, right? But Wax doesn't, you know, a lot of people don't trade in Wax. And then Binance does have Wax available, but Coinbase does not. And being the two biggest ones, you are on one of them, I guess, at least. It's just curious to me. That's like, it has relatively been low key, but they are upping their Web3 gaming. So, you know, I think eventually we're going to be hearing way more about them than we already do not. So this was pretty popular news. Crypto, I'm going to call it Rick Butts because I don't know if I can say that without the algorithm. Ethereum NFT surges. The NFT surges 690% in the daily sales volume. So crypto Rick Butts surged on Sunday, leapfrogging a handful of other notable NFT collections on elevated volume. Daily trading volume for the Ethereum-based NFT on OpenSea is up 690% at the time of writing to 290 ETH. It has most likely dropped since then, but that is an insane amount of height. Too great for this NFT. This NFT does not have any roadmap or anything like that. It's sort of just a meme. Apparently, it's been around for quite some time, since I think 2006, and it is based primarily on a artist who, you know, sort of just was like messing around. I mean, obviously, it's Rick Butts, and that's kind of what it is. The project is run on a DAO, the Rick Butts DAO, and it's more or less for fun and less an investment. Where you're expecting significant returns. You know, you never know, you might get significant returns. Some of the wildest and craziest things tend to sometimes do that. But Rick Butts, you know, climbed the charts and is sort of sitting pretty at the moment. Just for fun, though. It doesn't offer anything. And it's kind of funny how Rick Butts, Goblin Town, you know, really took off, and they don't really offer you anything at all. They just are what they are. So I think that's pretty cool. Moving on, superplastic and Gucci collaboration ends in epic Gugamon crescendo. So, global entertainment brand Superplastic has announced the final installment of its Gucci collaboration, so holders of its infamous Super Gucci collection may find a welcome surprise lurking in their wallet. Back in January, the fashion house teamed up with the insatiable Web3 company. Together, they launched a highly stylized NFT featuring Superplastic's on-point digital character, Genki, and then they now have a partnered character, and they're, you know, there they are. That's pretty much it. As part of the end of their sort of NFT collaboration, they revealed their second one, and I think it's like a free airdrop. These holders, those who are holding the original NFT at the time of the snapshot, will see their wallet graced with the new collectible, therefore completing the anarchic duo as they prepare to inflict their own brand of mayhem on the blockchain. In addition, holders will also qualify to redeem a high-quality handmade ceramic sculpture direct from the factory in Italy, the Bitosi factory in Italy. So that's pretty cool. Peckshield calls rug pull on dubious Dragma activity. So, on the ball crypto sleuth Peckshield have unearthed details of the latest dastardly rug pull, detailing how recently launched Web3 gaming platform Dragma emptied the project's offers and scrammed. Basically, those waking up to check how their Dragma token are doing will face almighty surprise. The previously touted game utility token has seen the bulk of its liquidity move to centralized exchange, while simultaneously the project website and its associated social media accounts have all but disappeared. So Discords, Twitters, Gonzo shut down. Now, this is the drop in the token price. Yikes for anybody who's holding that. But so coupled with the plummeting of the deactivated leaves all the hallmark for a classic rug pull. So, however, if centralized exchange have entered the mix, hopefully a spot of KYC will prove their downfall. Now, I doubt they would be so stupid as to do that, knowing that could fuck them over, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see kind of what happens there. I always try to throw these into the stories because, you know, it happens all the time. I saw a tweet the other day that's saying, or an article I was reading, and it's like, scams don't happen that often. Bitch, do you read the fucking news? I literally get a new one every single week. This was a day ago. A day ago. It's like this happens all of the time. It may seem like not a lot because it's like, well, it happens on like, you know, it happens, it's small, but, you know, obviously people make articles about it, but it's like out of all the communities, maybe it's not happening to a bunch, but it does happen all of the time. Lastly, voxels. So, following a few minor delays and the stabilization of the entire crypto market, the almighty voxel has finally completed its epic folk airdrop. Now, those interacting with its tied social media application, YoFolk, can reward active contributors with the inbuilt tipping function. So, essentially, they voxel what do they call themselves? They are the voxel is a metaverse world. It's pretty much what they is. Come have fun with them, basically, is what they say. And essentially, anybody who's, you know, a part of this community, who's contributed, you know, got either like 34. If you actually have like parcels, you got like 32 folk. If you were just someone who contributed to the ecosystem, you receive like 4. And essentially, it's simply just a tipping mechanism. You can just give people tips because, right? You know, you like what they did, you like what they're doing, you like who they are, and you can give them a tip, and then you can keep that money and you can tip other people, or you can take it and spend it on a carton of cigarettes if you so choose to. Whatever you want. But that's it for the news for today. Let me know what you thought of the articles we've gone through. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.